Joining me today is Shambrekiá Wise. She's a local author here in Texarkana over this series called Sightseeing with Sandy. First off, how are you doing?
I am good. I'm trying to stay cool. It is like miserably hot
Oh, yeah.
outside. I mean, today is nicer, but
Mhm.
it's been really hot lately.
It has
So
been hot. So, can you tell us a little bit about this series that you're doing?
absolutely. So actually this series was brought on by my kid. I tell everybody, I'm like, I'm the legal entity. She's the creative genius.
Mhm.
Uh, we were traveling after I had, gone through a bout of multiple sclerosis and to relapse and everything like that. And a promise I made to myself was, to really teach her how to live life once I was fully rehabilitated and got all my physical, abilities back because that's not even promised. But when you go through something like that, it just kind of teaches you to really appreciate life. And so I made like a list of things I wanted to do in life, and one of them was to definitely write more because I loved writing, and to spend more time with her, vacation with her because I really hadn't done that at that point, and just really make memories with her instead of just worrying so much about stuff.
Yeah.
And so traveling came up in that because I was like, that's not really something I got to do a lot of with my mom as a kid.
Mhm.
So I was like, I think that would be really great to just kind of have those memories and share those moments with her. So
Yeah.
when we were traveling and we had gotten on a plane going to LA for a business meeting, actually, she was like, Mom, where are all the kids? I'm like, a lot of kids just don't travel like that. I said, they're in school, parents work, traveling is expensive. Like, this was an opportunity that you basically got to be my plus one.
Yeah.
But, traveling is just not something that a lot of people check off their box, as something that they just do. And so she was just like, well, that's not really fair, and all kids should see the world.
Yeah.
So she was like, "You got to fix it," and I'm like, "How?" And so we actually had conversations, and after kind of like going through this list of like pros and cons to what would be most feasible, most affordable, because she wanted me to take people on trips. I was like, I am the wrong person to be taking everybody on a trip. And then she wanted to do an animated series. And I was like, I get the concept, but still, that's a whole wheelhouse of talent that is
Mhm.
not under my belt right now. Let's put a pin in it. But then she was like, well, are you too old to write a children's book? And I was like, no, I'm not too old to write a children's book. And she was like, well, I want a children's book. So that's where Sightseeing with Sandy came in. And I mean, no, not even 3 years later and 4 books later, we're rocking and rolling. We're having a great time. We've been able to, just get our books really out there into the world of people. This year marked the first time that we crossed the 1,000, book mark threshold. So I was really excited about that. And yeah, it's been great. It's been great. And I've just continued to be ever impressed by her creative thoughts, her genius. And it's just been really fun to be supportive of her in this pursuit as well.
Yeah. So, what do you hope people get out of out of all these books?
Yeah, so I really want number one, the spark of imagination to come alive for kids. Growing up here in Texarkana, I did not take my first international trip until I was an adult. And I know that a lot of kids are probably going to be that same way, just looking at demographics and just things that are not easily accessible to kids that grow up here. But it still does not mean that they don't deserve to see the world or that they can't see the world. It's more like an intentional gift of saying, hey, when you get to that point in life, this is what's waiting on you. Like when you go to Paris, like these things are going to be there for you. Like make sure you see this place, make sure you eat these things. It's just my way of trying to give that gift back, of promise and paying it forward and really investing into the future. And I think that's the thing that excites me most and the thing that I really want to get out of that most. And just making sure that it's equitable and affordable, for people that can't buy it. My hope and dream is to be able to give books to libraries and, at least be a part of like the initiative going forward that just makes an intentional difference with kids.
Mhm. So what does it feel how does it feel to you for your book to finally be out in the world, for people to purchase and read them to their own kids? And like you said, even here in Texarkana, some people may not know like the world is so much bigger than this small city. So how does it feel for you for your books to be out?
It's very humbling. It's a beautiful experience, and I'm thankful. And it doesn't pass over me that I feel like this is my gift that
Mhm.
I've been blessed to have, and that's the gift that I'm supposed to share. and Sandy too. Like, if it weren't for her perspective, I would have never started this, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah.
And so I'm very thankful for the synergy between the two of us that we're able to be such a blessing. But it's not about me at all. It's the fact that I'm just a vessel that's delivering work that, is hopefully making a better change in the world than what it was before we started.
Mhm.
So that's the most exciting and happiest part of this entire thing for me.
Yeah. And what do you want your daughter to get out of this? I mean, I know this was kind of her idea, but what do you want your daughter to take away from you, from just an idea to now it being a physical thing?
A few things actually. Definitely like seeing the beauty of hard work pay off.
Mhm.
And the payoffs, they don't come quick, they don't come overnight. And they're not always, going to come, but consistency, determination, dedication, that is always something that does yield results.
Mhm.
And it's been again just a humbling experience. So I hope that she, sees the grit behind what we've done and keeps this idea of like, you know what? If I just continue to do my best, like I can't tear down the mountain in a day,
Yeah.
but over time I can actually, make my path. I can forge a path. I can climb it. Like I can get there. So that definitely is a message that I hope she'll take for the rest of her life. Also in just knowing how to give back and how to share things with people and lean into your gift,
Mhm.
because again, we are all here for a purpose. We're not only here for ourselves, we're here to help our neighbors. And so if this is the way that, she's been blessed
Mhm.
to be a blessing, I pray that she always leans into her creative genius and makes the changes in the world that she wants to see.
Yeah. And how old was your daughter when she gave this idea to you?
Gosh, that was when she was 6. She had just turned
Hmm.
6 because we started 3 years ago, and our first book dropped in 2020, but she made the observation January 2020, right before COVID, when we were traveling, and she had just turned 6 actually that previous November.
Hmm. So one of the unique things about you, you're going to be doing a meet and greet and book signing
Mhm.
this weekend at local
Yes.
house. So could you tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So, first of all, that's one of the coolest little coffee shops here.
Mhm.
I'm actually jealous because when I was in high school, you too, because we were in school together around the same time, they didn't have anything like that here. I think we
No.
had just gotten a Starbucks.
Now there's like a
So,
bunch of little coffee shops everywhere.
yeah, they have all these little coffee shops here, and I'm like, I'm jealous. But
Mhm.
it's one of my favorite spots here in Texarkana. And I was just, talking to them and asking them like, "Hey, what kind of events are y'all doing?" Because parents are always looking for stuff to do with kids during the summer, especially. So, just talking to Joshua and being able to converse with Brooklyn after speaking with him and he being a go for it, it just kind of fell into place really easy. And they've been a wonderful, wonderful set of people to work with. I personally love it's like a sausage and cheese scone there. That is my favorite. So they can always count on me to show up for that. But yeah, we'll be doing a reading, we'll be doing a Q&A, and we'll be doing, some book signings as well. And we'll also have some really cool little things for people to try as
Yeah.
far as food goes, because every single book has a recipe at the end of it.
Ooh,
So we are contracting with Virgin Foods to actually do a Bahamian fruit salad for people to
okay.
try.
Okay, and what time can people show up and do they have to buy tickets? Do they register? How does that work?
So I will get you the Eventbrite that you can tag with this,
Mhm.
but we do have free registration
Okay.
online. The only thing that will cost will be the books if people want to buy them. They don't have to. But yeah, just registering and just letting us know how many people to expect would be super helpful. But we are just so excited to have this opportunity to just have a give back for our community. And
Mhm.
yeah, we're looking forward to it. I can't wait to meet everyone. And we'll be doing this actually over the course of the next few weekends. So
Okay.
we'll have that information there and I can get that to you as well. But for the next few Saturdays, we'll be doing readings of our different books. So
Yeah, and then what time does it start this Saturday?
12 p.m.
12 p.m. 12 p.m. to
to 2. I say 2 because it gives people time to do Q&As and to just talk, and Sandy will be there. So we're hoping to meet some new friends and see old friends as well. But we're just really excited and humble for the opportunity.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I mean, I hope that so many people purchase this book. And like you said, especially coming from a small town like Texarkana, it's really opened people's eyes, mostly kids or just everyone, but kids
Yeah.
especially, to what the world is like beyond Texarkana, Texas slash Arkansas. So thank you so much for sitting down with me today.
Absolutely, and I forgot to add, we'll also have in our kits that we will have there for sale, we'll have passports and little stickers too, because it really gives kids the opportunity to feel like I am traveling.
Uh-huh.
I was joking with this one kid, and he was like, "Now this is a passport." I said, "This is a passport. This is our passport." He's like, "Can I go to the airport with this passport?" I said, "Absolutely not. Do not tell TSA I gave this to you for you to try and use." He was like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "I'm positive."
Yeah, positive. Well, yeah, I mean, like I said, I love what you're doing here, and I'm so excited about just this entire series and this book because I saw you on Facebook. And I was like, oh my gosh, I got to get in touch with this lady, and I'm like trying to DM, like, I hope she DMs me back because I never know when people are going to say yes or no with the interview. So I'm happy that you agreed to speak with me today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for the opportunity.